All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Tanya Smith, and this is Get Noticed with Video Live. We go live every week to share tips and strategies on how you can use on camera and even pre recorded video if you need to, but mostly live video to increase your social influence. So I am super excited and thrilled that I get to be here. This is not my typical night, but I have had a couple of little um, setbacks this week. I'm doing well now, but I wanted to make sure that I was at least close to 100 before getting on camera with you and sharing what I needed to share, just so we can make sure that this is a good experience. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge Misty. Thank you so much. My son, the photographer and videographer, are waiting in anticipation. This is before we even went live. Tonight, I'm going to answer the question, and here's my question. The question is, how do I go about upgrading my marketing to incorporate Facebook Live? So we're going to talk about Facebook Live. Have a blessed Wednesday yourself. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. You rock. Yes, you rock. No, you rock more. Hey, Jakara, it's good to see you. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up live with me. I am really, really thrilled. And there is Anna. It's Anna or Anna. You'll have to tell me if I'm saying that properly. So, good evening, good evening, good evening, Stacy. Here's my girl. Y'all, I'm just thrilled to be here. I'm just thrilled to be here. So, we're going to talk, like I said, about Facebook Live. Before I do that, as I give people a chance to come on in, I'm going to go ahead and play my short little intro video, and then I'll be right back and we'll talk about Facebook and we'll talk about upgrading our marketing using the platform. And we'll just, I'll answer whatever questions you have. I'm here with you, so feel free to comment. I'm paying attention, and we'll get into it. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm seeing all the comments and loving it, loving it, loving it. Thank you, Marcia. I am doing better. Yes, I wanted to make sure that I was feeling better before I jumped on. So I kind of had to move things around a little bit this week. And I appreciate all your kind comments, especially in my group, my Get Noticed with Video VIPs group on Facebook. Just sending you all a shout out. Miss Pat. Yes, you were too. You're not feeling well last week. Yeah, we got to get better. We got to get better. We need to be 100 because we have a message to share. There's something that's important for you. And that's really the reason why I'm here tonight, is to talk a little bit about, the topic is 3 tips to master Facebook Live for your marketing. The deal is, you really need ways that you can not only stand out from a crowded marketplace, especially when it comes to the internet and social media, but we need to be louder, stronger, and better than some of the voices that we're hearing, right? And in order for us to do that, sometimes we have to do things that most people won't. And one of those things that most people won't, some of you have heard me speak on this before, is video. A lot of people have a fear or a lack of confidence when it comes to doing on-camera video. And so I did a couple of things to position myself tonight to really just kind of talk to you in a one-on-one manner. So we're not going to have slides. We're not doing the mini type of training that we usually do. I just wanted to really kind of talk to you from the heart. But I do have some structured points as usual to make sure that, we stay on topic. Meanwhile, yes, 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 yes. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you there too. Meanwhile, what I want to do is to make sure to arm you and equip you with the right knowledge, the right tools, the right tactics when it comes to using that on-camera video. Because again, most people will not use it. So when you are looking to be able to stand out, when you're looking to be able to share your message with the people who need it the most, video is a prime way for you to do that. And one of the reasons I think I need to focus on why Facebook Live, because some of you may be watching on other platforms as well. Maybe you're watching on YouTube, on Twitter, or even through LinkedIn. One of the reasons why I would say that Facebook specifically is an excellent platform for doing live streaming, there's a couple of reasons. One, it's super easy to do because they do have, as I look at the different platforms, and some of you know that I have a background since 2007, really seriously 2010, in social media marketing. When I look at the various social media marketing platforms, the one that probably is the most evolved when it comes to video, there's two. Of course, YouTube has always been in the game, but I think that Facebook gives you a little bit more leverage in that it's simple for you to be able to go live on the platform and also connect it to community. So you have, for instance, Facebook groups. And right now, my Facebook group has access to this live stream, just as some of my other business pages and other platforms have. But there's something a little different about using that whole ecosystem, if you will, so that you can really nurture your community, nurture your space, and build relationships in a different way than some of the other platforms. So that's one thing. Another thing is that it's super easy to repurpose when you start in Facebook Live. And my friend who has created repurpose.io, that's Hanny Murrah, Handy will tell you that typically, when even using his tool, his app that allows you to convert your live video into multiple pieces of content, a lot of which I teach about for my clients. When you do that, it's easiest to start from a Facebook video. And there's a number of reasons, again, for being able to do it that way, because of the API and some other things that you don't care about. But ultimately, it's super easy to repurpose when you start in a Facebook Live. LinkedIn, I would like for them to get to that space, and I do not have access there. So I'm not exactly 100% confident about what they have available. But for my clients that do have access to that space, they too have so far at least confirmed for me that it's not nearly as robust as what you're able and capable of doing with a Facebook Live video. The third and final reason is that I do think that there's a nice um, opportunity for you to set things up. So, for instance, if you were to go to my Facebook page, if you're not there now, and you go to the tabs, you can see how organized the various playlists are, similar to what you can do with YouTube. So, there's just lots of different ways, and that's why I wanted to explain why am I talking about Facebook Live and what is the purpose of us focusing on that when it comes to upgrading your live video strategies. Okay. So let's dive into the three, and I'm going to start with number one. Before I do that, let me make sure that I do acknowledge some more comments in here. There's my Brenda. Hello, greetings. Thank you so much. I am glad to be here as well. Misty said, I did what you suggested, and now I do only one CTA, a call to action. Thank you. So Misty and I, we were talking about this the other day about the idea of how you incorporate calls to action. So maybe I'll get a chance to touch on that with some of these points. So here's the first point that I want to share. The first is that when you're talking about marketing strategy and you're talking about going live on Facebook, you first need to find ways to build up your confidence on camera, okay? Because that is the first thing that tends to sidetrack people and move them out of the desire. So they say, yeah, I want to do video, I want to do this, and I'm going to do it. And they keep telling themselves they're going to do it, and then they don't quite ever get there, right? It's like, yeah, I'm not ready today. And they make excuses, and and all of that is legitimate. Okay, so we've all been there, and it can be very tough to start something new. So I want to share with you that that's something that you have to get over in order for you to truly leverage live video for your marketing strategy. You have to get past that roadblock. And a lot of times it is a mental roadblock. And I teach a class called On Camera Confidence, which I'm in the process right now of taking and moving to a new platform, but you can still find it if you go to my website at getnoticedwithvideo.com. But in that class about on-camera confidence, I'm talking about how to use affirmations. I'm talking about some of the things that are mental um, reasons. They're reasons that are all in your head that are keeping you from doing more video and getting yourself on camera. So you've got to find ways, you've got to determine what it is that's holding you back. And then you have to apply ways that will help you. And they don't, just because something works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to help you too, but it's worth an experiment, right? But if there are ways that you've read about, that you've heard about, that you've seen people talk about that can help you to get past those roadblocks so that you can put yourself on camera in a more confident manner, then by all means, do what it takes to be more confident. And that literally is the first of the 3 steps. You must build up your confidence to be on camera in order to leverage Facebook or any other type of live streaming platform so that you can get the maximum result. And why? The reason for this is that your confidence or lack of shows up in different ways on camera. Okay. So when you do not have that confidence, when you feel like, oh, I'm probably doing this wrong, or I really don't want to be here, all of that shows up. Okay. Because you keep in mind that your video is about the visual, right? And there's also a feeling that tends to communicate itself through the camera. So when you feel down, when you feel weak, when you feel like I'm not really assertive enough to do this, it can show up in a number of different ways. I know we all have heard that phrase, fake it until you make it. And yeah, it could take you so far. But I know you probably have seen some videos, some people who have done some on camera work where you felt like they're not really sure of themselves. And let me give you this. If you're in the beginning stages of doing live video, you're going to have those moments too where you're not sure. I've had them. I still have them today. But if you do the things, if you do the work that it takes to build up your confidence, you will be much more savvy. You will be happier about doing it. You might even get excited about your day, right? The day that you're going to be going live and you're recording in front of this group of people, this audience that you, some of whom you know and some you don't, right? I always have new people. So if you are new and you're commenting right now in Facebook, definitely, or anywhere, if you're commenting on YouTube, if you're commenting on Twitter, feel free to go ahead and put hashtag new so that I know that you're here and I can acknowledge you. Yes, Misty says, I'm taking notes. And can I share this with a group? I believe so. Now, I'm not sure if you are in my group, because I just saw an anonymous comment there. It may mean that you're inside of my Facebook group in the moment. And if you are, then what you'll want to do is to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission to show your face and your name. But yes, because this is public, this is a public viewing, you can share my business page link. So at Get Noticed with Video, I am live right there, and there's a link that should be shareable. It's good to see you, Anna. So Anna, you got to tell me. So help me pronounce that correctly because I want to make sure I acknowledge you. And Marie's good to see you. And Stacy, I tell you, every Thursday I get so nervous when I'm about to go on. Yes, yes. So it doesn't matter how seasoned you are. Even when I do these, as much as I've been doing them, and some of you know that last year I committed to going on live at least once or twice a week, every week, and I stuck with that. That is what helped me to build up the confidence level. That is what helped me to understand where my mistakes were, where I needed to improve, right? So the more you do it, the more you will get past this. Yes. Yes, Laverne, glad to see you here as well. Good to see all of you. I totally did this to myself Tuesday, not fully prepared and was struggling. You can tell when you watch it. Yes. But here's the thing. This is what I will tell you with this number 1 tip. The number 1 tip is all about being more, building up, doing the things that it takes, doing the work it takes on yourself to build more confidence. One of the things that you will have to embrace is the idea that you will be imperfect, and that's okay. Okay. So one of the affirmations has to do with that perfection thing that we teach in that on camera confidence class. So just embrace it and be okay. And don't go back and delete it if you know that there's good content that still someone can use. Just, yes, Marie said this is after 6 months of going live every week. Yes. Now I've been doing this for a while, for at least a year, actually way longer than a year now, and I still have those moments. But do the work that it takes. That means sometimes going back and watching that video that you really didn't want to go back and watch. Because goodness knows, I hate going back and watching myself or listening to myself most of the time. And there are reasons for that as well that we teach in the course. So definitely think about those ways. Yes, Misty says, I try to do my research and I try to stay true to my commitment of going live. That's how you build your confidence. Yes, commit, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in number 2 and 3. But commit to going live is really number 3, and I'll get into that in just a minute. It's part of number 3. We'll say that. Okay, so number 1 is build up your confidence, whatever it takes to be on camera, whether it means taking a course, whether it means doing it over and over again, getting constructive feedback from a friend, and I mean constructive, from someone that you trust and whose opinion you value. So be careful that you're not listening to people who are trolling you or people who really don't have weight and shouldn't carry weight in your mind. Talk to someone you trust, okay? But do whatever it takes to build up your confidence to be on camera. That's the first of the 3 tips I want to talk about. The second is to choose the tools and apps that are right for you and your budget. Let me repeat that. The second tip for upgrading your marketing strategy when you're using Facebook Live and any other type of live platform is choose the tools and the apps that are right for you and that fit within your budget. The reason why I'm saying this is because I see a lot of different people that talk about um, video and going live and all of those things. And the next thing you hear is, okay, well, go to my gear list. And I have a gear list too. Okay. I have a gear list on my website that's a recommended gear list when you're ready for that. But when you're just starting out, you do not need to go out and break the bank buying a bunch of equipment and tools that you may not even use because you haven't quite committed here yet. So I want you to be careful. Yes, you can upgrade as you build up that confidence, you get through number 1, going on to number 2 is kind of the next logical step because some of us were using, and this is a great question. So Anna asked, what's your website? It's getnoticedwithvideo.com. And I think I'll probably show my banner soon. But here's the thing. We have to be careful that we are spending and investing in resources that we actually need. I was going through, which I periodically do. I try to do this at least once every 3 months or so, but I'll go through and write out a list. Now I'm starting to put it into an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets, but a list of all the different apps and software that I'm paying for or that I have purchased. And then I will go through and I'll do a C with a circle for cancel or a K with a circle for keep. Anything that I purchased that has a lifetime value, like I've paid for it once and I'm not paying for it again, that'll have an L with the circle next to it. Okay. That way I can kind of go through that list and see, okay, are there subscriptions to different software and programs I need to let go of? Yes, girl, I know. For real, Michelle. You know, we've had that talk before. And thank you, Misty, for putting that in there for me. All right. Yes. And LaFern knows right for you that fits within your budget because we talk about this. I talk about this with every one of my clients. I do not encourage you and tell you to go out and buy a bunch of gear that you don't need. You can start with the basics, and the basics are probably things you already have. If you're going live and this is your first round, you know, you're just getting started, you're putting your toe in the water, use your smartphone or use the webcam that's built into your laptop. Now, I will tell you that a lot of laptops and desktops have really crappy equipment. The sound, the microphone is not great, and the webcam is not great. So you're going to want to test those things out. But if that's what you have, start out with that first. Then you can up level. Then you can start thinking about, okay, what are the things I absolutely need? What type of streaming platform do I need? In our Let's Go Live challenge that we just did a few weeks ago, inside my Facebook group, we have a free Let's Go Live challenge. One of the things that a lot of people were commenting on is, oh my God, I didn't know that I could go live directly from inside of Facebook for free, right? I can schedule it out and I can actually go live and I can do practice lives and everything right inside of Facebook without adding any type of streaming platform. Now, is it going to have all the bells and whistles? No. But is it going to be sufficient for you to start out with? Yes, absolutely. All of that is already built in, which is another reason why I'm saying that it's a great place for you to start out, because you can practice there, you can build up your confidence, you can schedule things out. There's so many things. Yes. So I'm seeing a note from Anna. I've had some issues signing up for a platform and then I do it for the year and then find a better one. So would you recommend doing monthly versus yearly purchasing? That's a really good, great question. And here's my answer. This is my honest answer, because I told y'all, like, I set my camera up so I can really talk to you directly. We're not doing slides. Here's my real answer is that depends on you. I'll tell you what I do, and you can see if it might work for you. Whenever I am thinking about, so for instance, StreamYard is a great example. I love StreamYard. I love the platform. I think it's great. It's what I'm using right in this moment. It gives me a lot of different options to be able to insert video snippets and banners and all these bells and whistles, and it's great. The price is not horrible, but it's also something that I want to examine and evaluate against other platforms and streaming tools that I know are in production right now. So Restreamio, for instance, I have a lifetime access to Restreamio. So because of that, and I see that they continue to upgrade their features over there, and they're sending me beta options so that I can test things out, I decided to go monthly with StreamYard. I also go monthly with Zoom because I do not use Zoom on a regular basis to where I need to pay for a year at a time. StreamYard and some other different types of platforms similar to that, I tend to go monthly because I want the option of being able to cancel when I'm ready to cancel and move to something else. Now, if you are the type of person who is pretty sold on a particular platform, and it depends on what that software is or app that you're using, if you're sold on this thing and you're like, you know what, this is it, this is my golden ticket to success, this is what I want to use, and I'm committed to using it for a year, you can certainly do that, and pay for an annual, because typically, as you probably already know, when you pay annually, you get a little bit of a discount. But I am always really particular about looking at how much of a discount am I really getting. So I will break that down too. If I see annual pricing on anything, I'll break it down and figure out, okay, how much is this saving me a month? Or how much, is there really a disparity? Is there really a difference between annual versus monthly? Because I typically tend to try to do monthly, yes. But I would say that there are opportunities for you to do yearly. In some cases, you just want to be committed to the fact that, look, I'm stuck with it for a year now, right? Misty said, I am sold on free platforms. Now, I love free too, but I will also say that sometimes free, because my motto used to be free is for me, but I will say that sometimes you get what you don't pay for. What I mean by that is you got to be careful that you still are delivering the quality, and you're still, whatever you're presenting is in alignment with your brand. But there are lots of free, and to Misty's point, just think about the fact that, again, Facebook actually allows you to go live for free and to schedule things for free. You can put everything you want to inside of Facebook for free. There are some things that you have to watch when you do that, because again, you get what you don't pay for. If you don't pay for other tools to schedule out your social media, if you don't pay for other tools to do your streaming, you're going to miss out on certain options and features. So, one thing that I always caution people about Facebook and any other platform is never let someone else own your real estate. So I tend to have backups for everything. It's important to me, even if I did use Facebook's free platform, that I'm going to instantly and immediately, after we get done with the live, go and download my video content. Because if it disappears because they chose, for whatever reason, which they have done, they chose to take it down or to remove it or whatever they do with it, I want my backup and I want it to be on my own site. So one of the things that I tend to do is to always have a backup plan for any content I'm putting out there. Yes, and honest as I like investing in the right platforms that work for me. One woman show, exactly. I'm in the same boat for the most part. Try to do better with that. Yes. So just know that you might be missing out on certain features and you have to be okay with that. It's okay, right? If you use certain free items or free features for different apps, just know that there's certain things that you may be sacrificing, and that's fine, especially starting out, because the important thing is you need to make sure you're clear on what your budget is every month, so that as you're generating income and you're getting new leads to convert into clients, you are not giving up every little penny that you just made. If you made $100, if you made $500 for the month and then you pay out 600, what was the point? It's no longer a business because it's not profitable. So we have to just be mindful. And that's the point that I wanted to make as far as marketing strategy and making sure that you're up leveling. It's not just about up leveling your tools and your tech, it's also about up leveling your thinking and thinking about, how does this create a profit for me each and every month? Where can I cut certain expenses so that I make more than what I'm spending? Those are things that you've got to think about. So, number one, and I'll come back. There's a couple of questions I see in here. I'll come back because I don't want to get too far off topic. But build up your confidence to be on camera. The second one is choose the tools and apps that are right for you and that fit within your budget. Number three, the third tip for up leveling and upgrading your marketing strategy with Facebook Lives is to, drum roll, have a solid business strategy. Don't just think, I'm going to get on video today, right? Too many of us do this. And I can say this because I have friends that I know, and I have been in the same boat where it's like, hey, video is the hot new thing. Hey, podcasting is the hot new thing. Hey, this is the hot new thing. And you jump in with both feet, but then you're not making a connection to your overall business strategy. So, what I mean by that is this: when you are going live, when you make the decision that you're going to commit to doing Facebook Live or any other type of media, podcasting, YouTube, whatever it is, you need to ask yourself and be confident about your business plan. What's the strategy? What are you promoting? What are you offering? What is the next step for people? So this is where that call to action comes into play, right? What are you promoting and offering? Because let's say that you're doing these videos and maybe you are doing a video every day, okay? If you're doing these daily videos, but you have nothing to sell, and you're not leading people to something else where they can have experience with you and pay for that experience, because it is highly valuable, because they're getting something out of it and you're getting something out of it. If you're not creating that for your business, again, you're putting yourself out of business. So you have to be thinking in terms of, what is my profitable business strategy? My friend Shantae Hawkins, Profit is the New Black, all day long she can talk about, stuff just pours out of her about how to make a profit whatever it is you're doing. So follow her if you aren't following her now, because she's excellent at that. She kind of gets me reined back in at times. Like, that's a great idea, but how are you going to make money from that? So you have to be thinking about, if I'm doing a video every day or even once a week or twice a week, what am I sharing with people that will help them to connect in a different way and on a paid scale? Like, even if it's a free thing that they can go and sign up for in exchange for me to have their email so I can continue to build and nurture a relationship. What is the game plan? So again, all of the things that we're talking about, since I said strategy, they're about strategy. They're about thinking bigger and not just focusing on the tactics. The tactical things will definitely get things done. But what is the strategy? How are you growing your business as a result of all this activity? And where are you being intentional when it comes to your plan? So I love telling you you need to get on video, but I also want you to understand that you're getting on video for a reason. There should be a connectivity back to your business strategy. Yes, tip number 3 is to have a solid business strategy. Think about, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I on here? Yes, solid business strategy. LaFern knows, she is a master at business strategy, master, branding, business, all of that. So yes, we have to be clear about what we're promoting. What is the offer? What's the next step? How do you tell people how to get in touch with you? You know, Anna asked me what was my website. I probably should have said that, and I think I might have said it at the beginning, but I've got to think about ways in which every video will lead people to something else where they can have a bigger experience, right? And so when you're thinking about your call to action, and this is to answer, Misty had an earlier question about, or she actually made a statement or comment about calls to action. One of the things that we talked about is she's doing a lot of video, and this is common for a lot of people, Misty, so I hope you don't mind I'm sharing this. She's doing a lot of video, but then she finds that people kind of like it and then they move on, right? And my question for her was, what are you asking them to do? Did you give them an action step? And she said, yeah. And it was like there were multiple action steps throughout the video. So one thing she's going to experiment with, and this is something that I'm getting better and better at doing. So I'm going to stop saying I'm bad at this. And I want you to stop saying that too. Just say I'm getting better and better at doing X. Okay? Because we're building up. We're improving every minute. So what I'm saying is, I'm getting better and better at sharing calls to action. Now, the key is you don't want to confuse people by having like 100 different calls to action. What is it that you want them to do next? So if you can think in terms of your strategy as you're planning out your format for your live videos, you're thinking about, what is it I want people to focus on and to understand? I'll tell you, for this video that we're doing right now, one of the things I'm about to do is to create a series on Facebook Live tutorials, right? And so in preparation for that series, I started thinking through, okay, what are things that people need to know in order to be really, to get good at doing Facebook Lives? And that's why I built this particular structure or this format for this episode around those top 3 things, because then it's going to be converted into a blog post at getnoticedwithvideo.com where you can get connected and learn more about what I do and learn about our different programs. But one other thing that you might want to think about for your call to action, besides just sending people to your blog or to your website, might be if you have a community that you're building, if you have a book that you're selling, if you have a course that you're offering. All of those things matter. So think in terms of, what is the best call to action that connects to the message I'm sharing today in this video, because that then helps people get clear on what their next action is, and it ties back to an overall business strategy. I hope that's connecting for you. I hope that's like creating some thought nuggets for you. Okay. Let me scan through too and see some additional questions, and I'll recap real quick what our 3 items were. And I think Someone is recapping for me, which is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. The only one I don't see captured here is number 1. Yes, I do see it. Misty did it for me. Tip 1, build your confidence to go live. And let's see, tip 2, choose the tools and equipment right for your budget. And then, of course, tip number 3, Misty, I just love you. Have a solid business strategy. So, all 3 of those are the 3 tips for today. Now, let me double check real quick because I'm making sure that I try to get to some of these other questions. I can't get into scripting today, Jakara, because that will take too long. That's a whole different video. But I do have several videos. If you look in the library, on our Facebook page, you'll find some there, or go to my blog. And if you do a search, I think you should find one there. And then I think you also have access to some of my courses where we talk about scripting. So shoot me a private note if you need direction on where to go for that. Let me see. There was another question I wanted to try to tackle. So I'm looking through. Pat says, I'm using every one of your tips daily. So Pat is awesome. She has started doing live video and she is just like now it's working really well for her and for her community. So I'm really, really excited. Yes. I think I answered Anna's question. Let's see what else. Okay. I can't find the other question. I knew there was one other one that I wanted to mention. So if you have a question that I did not mention, feel free to go ahead and push that in here, put it into the comments, and I'll make sure to try to tackle that in the next few minutes. But I just want you all to know that I really sincerely appreciate you showing up and being part of the lives that we do. I do try to keep these under 30 minutes, but lately they've been running a little longer. Oh, there's the question. I tried to download a Facebook Live and was unsuccessful. I'm not sure why. I was downloading from my personal Facebook page. So that speaks to the backing up of your content. Now, if you're using, and here's one of those things where we talked about paid versus free options. When I use StreamYard, which is paid, that allows me then to be able to immediately go and download, and they give you access, I think, I don't know what the limited amount of time is. For a limited amount of time, you can go in to any of your pre-recorded or your past lives that you've done, your broadcasts that you've done, and you can download the video and the audio. If you're using Zoom, some of you are using Zoom and didn't realize that you have the option of being able to go live inside of Facebook using Zoom. You can do that. If you're using Zoom, you'll have the same capability depending on how you have recording set up. So make sure that you either have cloud recording or that you have set it up such that you can have the recording stored in your own device, your laptop, or whatever you're using. Okay. So you have the capability there. Now, inside of Facebook itself, if you record it natively inside of Facebook, and they're not allowing you to download, I do not know the reason why they're not allowing. I would certainly reach out to support through chat and find out if you can get some information on what's going wrong, because you should have the ability to be able to download. It depends on how you actually. Oh, good. Thank you. So Anna said 7 days and Stacy confirmed. So 7 days is how long StreamYard allows you to hold your recording there. But it gives you that when you're paying, again, you get some of those features. And that's one of the features that I like, is the ability to be able to back up that way. But just check with Facebook support and see if you can get some help on the download. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you why it wouldn't allow you. And hopefully, that can be resolved. So I'll try to reach out to you in the group if you can't get an answer within the next couple of days. Okay. All right. I don't see anything else. So I think we're about to wrap. Yes, because you should be able to click into it and hit the download. Yeah, it's odd. So when you are in there, Misty, double check and make sure that you're in, because you have to get into your Facebook Live the right way. There's all kinds of different ways you can actually go and do edits. So the little 3 dots on the right-hand side, the upper right-hand side, if you're in your Facebook Live video, your past recording, go to those 3 dots, click on edit, and you may not even have to click on edit. Just look in the menu and see if you see the download option there. Okay. All right. Well, it has been wonderful connecting with all of you. For those of you who are in my group at facebook.com/groups, you're in the Get Noticed with Video VIPs group. Just know that I'll be reaching out within the next couple of days to share some really exciting stuff that we're going to be doing. It is free to be part of my community there. So let me put that banner up so that you know how to get there. It is at Get Noticed with Video VIPs. But there's a couple of things I'm going to be sharing, and I always share with my group first because that is my community. That's where I hang out. That's where we spend time together and we learn and laugh and love each other. I'm very protective of my group. So when you do try to join, make sure you answer all 3 questions. But we're going to be making some announcements in there probably on Friday to share some really cool stuff that's coming up. And I just want to congratulate all of you who completed the Let's Go Live challenge last week. That was so much fun to see so many of you doing your live video either for the first time or putting yourself on a schedule for the first time. That was awesome. So yes, very, very, very excited. Facebook groups is where it's at. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, my friend. And again, that's one of the things that I love about having that ecosystem. That ecosystem is that you can have the video, you can have the group in the community, you can nurture and support each other. All of those things are wonderful. Yes. And okay, so Misty, I'm going to put Austin's name up and tell him congratulations. He had 600 views on his Twitch stream. Yes. Way to go, Austin. You rock. Yes, I'm super excited about that. All right. So I guess we're going to get ready to end. I can't believe it, but it's time. I will see you back next week. We were going live on Mondays, but one of the announcements that I'll be sharing this week with the group, and I'll go ahead and say now, is that we're going to move the day of the week likely to Tuesday because that's what my community said that they would like to work with. Okay. So Tuesdays at the same time, 6 p.m. Central. I am excited about that. That's going to give me a little bit more prep time. And there's some other things that I tend to do with my videos that I talk about. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I love doing these and I love hearing from you and getting your questions and answering as much as I can. But I appreciate you and I will see you next week. Meanwhile, please take care of yourself. Self-care is paramount right now. Take care of yourself and make sure you turn off the noise when you need to. Be quiet sometimes. I love and just appreciate the quiet time for the healing and for the restorative process. Um, yes, Stacy, thank you so much for being here. And y'all have a wonderful evening. And I'll again see you next week. For those of you who are in my group, again, I'll be sharing some information with you likely on Friday about some other things that we're going to be doing. If you would like to be notified about our lives, like whenever I get ready to go live, you can sign up just by typing remind me. If you're on Facebook, type remind me in your comments. And what will happen is you'll get a messenger message. Okay. All right. Have a good evening and I will see you next time. Take care.